The Kenya Uncensored welcomes you back. That those who took advantage of well-intentioned peaceful protests to loot property, to steal, to maim, to hurt, those are idiots. I agree with you. They are even more idiots and more idiotic as those who try to take advantage of the whole scenario to settle political scores with those they don't support or those they have a problem with. Will President William Samoei Ruto's political romance with ODM jeopardize Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua's position? It's no secret that Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has always opposed the idea of his boss, President William Ruto, collaborating with members of the Azimio coalition, especially its leader, Raila Odinga. Gachagua has repeatedly stated that he will fight to his last breath to ensure Raila stays away from President William Ruto. Sababu ni vizuri kuambia mtu ukweli. Sasa alikuwa amejaribu kuja hapo kwa rais. Juzi nimetoka nimeenda ng'ambo, nimeenda Italy. Wanajaribu kupitia huko, nikaitwa nikarudi haraka. Kwa sababu pale unajua kazi yangu pale ni rais sana. Mimi kazi yangu ni kuchunga Rais William Samoei Ruto na sina kazi nyingine. That's my work. Nikiona mtu yote anaweza tatiza serikali yake, hiyo ni kazi yangu na ngangana na hiyo mtu. Na huyu kitendawili historia yake ni mbaya. However, the recent appointment of Raila Odinga's battalion into Ruto's government, Gachagua's worst nightmare seems to be embodied. There is speculation that he might soon face the same fate as Ruto did in Uhuru Kenyatta's government when Raila Odinga formed the handshake government with former President Uhuru Kenyatta. The nomination of Ali Hassan Joho, Opiyo Wandayi, John Mbadi, and Wycliffe Oparanya into crucial ministerial positions by President Ruto has caused discontent among a faction of Mount Kenya leaders, Gachagua's home region. They feel that the president has neglected the region that significantly contributed to his electoral victory and instead appointed Raila Odinga's allies to Ruto's government, despite their previous opposition to Ruto and his policies in parliament. Sisi kama watu wa Mount Kenya ametuacha kwa mataa. Saa hii ile ministry, ile wizara mzuri kabisa sasa imechukuliwa na ODM. Wizara ile iko na nguvu sasa imechukuliwa na ODM. Sisi watu wa Mount Kenya ukiangalia ni ministry gani tumepewa, wewe utajiuliza na hiyo inafanyia nini? Tumekupatia baada uchulikani. Ferdinand Waititu was saying that kazi yetu ni kupewa kitambaa tu lakini hakuna kitu. The appointment of opposition leaders to Ruto's government comes amidst a massive protest by Kenyans against President Ruto's administration. These protests, which resulted into multiple deaths and injuries, forced the president to dissolve his entire cabinet. Subsequently, he appointed members of the opposition and reinstated some of his previous cabinet secretaries. The shocking aspect of his appointment is that many Kenyans feel the opposition led by Raila Odinga hijacked the protests to push their own agendas, ultimately securing positions in President Ruto's government. That those who took advantage of well-intentioned peaceful protests to loot property, to steal, to maim, to hurt, those are idiots. I agree with you. They are even more idiots and more idiotic as those who try to take advantage of the whole scenario to settle political scores with those they don't support or they don't have a problem with. Trying to abortion blame, trying to say this and that, and those are even more idiotic than those idiots. And I agree with you as someone entailed. Let people know that Kenyans are very intelligent people. People of this great country have come of age. They see from far, they analyze, and they know. As you speak of any situation, have tremendous respect for the people of Kenya People are not foolish. There is no shortage of fools in this country. People have fairly intelligent and very analytical, Gachagua said. Statements from Mount Kenya leaders indicate that the deputy president's position within Ruto's government is now uncertain, despite the opposition denying it that they have joined the government covertly and Raila Odinga himself claiming no knowledge of his team's appointment into Ruto's government. Kenyans are left questioning how such actions could occur without the opposition leaders' knowledge. This has led to speculations that Raila Odinga might be deceiving Kenyans that is already in bed with President William Samoei Ruto's government. The animosity between Raila Odinga and Rigathi Gachagua is well known. For the longest time, Rigathi Gachagua has labeled Raila Odinga as a home wrecker, accusing him of being the catalyst for the downfall of the various regimes in the country. Whenever Raila Odinga engages with the president, Gachagua believes that the former prime minister has the power to corrupt the president's heart and distract him from serving his people effectively. Na huyu kitendawili historia yake ni mbaya. Ama mnaona nimkubalie? Nimkubalie akaribie rais? Sasa mimi naenda Colombia kutafuta soko ya kahawa. Alafu nipite Cuba, lakini nimepanga. Iyo ikulu nimeweka mitego kila kona, kila mahali. Kila pahali nimeweka na niko na watu wa kunipigia simu, wakionekana tu karibu naambiwa. Kwa sababu mtu ameharibu serikali ingine umkubalie akuje ya 5. Si ataharibu. Juzi amekuja pale KICC nimemkaribisha vizuri. Simuliona kwa heshima kwa sababu yeye ni mzee yetu, amekuja tumemwalika. Sasa kuliko aende aketi kwa kiti yake, anataka kuingia marais kwenye wamekaa wale wamejishauliwa. On the other hand, Raila Odinga feels that Gachagua has no chance of becoming president. In a recent statement urging the youths to stop protesting against Ruto's regime, Odinga remarked that it's better to be led by President Ruto than Gachagua. And this is how the statement read. Ruto goes, then what? Ruto may go, then Gachagua takes over implementing bad policies. Ruto can also say, I'm tired, let the military generals take over. Then the country begins to go through what Egypt went through after Tahrir Square. Ruto must go cannot be the end. It is at a time of crisis like this that a country needs to talk. We are not doing this to save Ruto. We are doing this to save Kenya. That's what Raila Odinga said. And the reason for Odinga's apprehension about Gachagua's potential presidency can be explained by his brother Oburu Odinga, who believes that Gachagua's leadership could break Kenya into pieces. This belief stems from Gachagua's statement about the shareholders' narrative, where he asserted the Kenya Kwanza government prioritizes those who voted for it. Hii serikali ni kampuni na ni ya shares. Sindio? Ni ya shares. Kuna wenye kampuni, wale wako na shares mingi, kuna wale wako na chache na wale hawana. Sasa nyinyi muliinvest kwa hii kampuni ya William Ruto na Rigathi Gachagua. Sasa lazima muvune. Yule ambaye alipanda atavuna. Simulipanda? Simuliamka mapema? Mukasema hamtaki kusikia mambo ya ile system na nini? Mukainvest, mukapanda, mukapalilia, mukaweka mbolea, mukamwagilia maji, wakati ya kuvuna ndio huu. Na itakuwa namna hiyo. Najua wenyewe wananikashifu sababu mimi nasema ati wale walipanda wavune kwanza. Iko makosa. Hata wao watavuna lakini wangoje. And Gachagua is even worse in my view because he talks about shareholding. We start our country into a shareholding company. We want change. But as it is now, the realistic situation is such that the government must continue and it's either Ruto or Gachagua. Or else the government falls, and if the government falls, there are many consequences. One most obvious consequence in a chaotic situation like that will be the army takes over like Egypt. And you know what happened? What happened there? And you know the other states in Africa is not very nice. But of course, when they do, people will come out in support, that we support them, we support them. They have removed the default. The opposition interpreted this as a direct jab, especially since Raila Odinga was a presidential candidate during the election and has been vocally opposed to Ruto. With the inclusion of Raila Odinga's team into Ruto's cabinet, speculation has grown among Kenyans that Gachagua's days in the government are numbered. Many believe it is only a matter of time before President Ruto shows the Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua the door. I think the person who should be worried the most is Rigathi. Rigathi Gachagua, wherever you are, start saying your Hail Mary, or you go to the Presbyterian church, start going to the mountains to pray again, because what's about to happen is you are about to be impeached. Let me tell you, Raila Amolo Odinga had already said, if you see Ruto must go, where do you want him to go so that Rigathi becomes president? Raila Amolo Odinga does not believe in the president of Rigathi Gachagua and is willing to want Gachagua to ascend to beyond where he is. If William Ruto has openly showed where he's coming to give press briefing, he has two deputies, the one he loves the most and the one that voters gave him. And even when he was announcing his cabinet, he had Musalia Mudavadi, the deputy he loves the most, and the only deputy he retained in cabinet with him, and then this guy who was given to him by voters. And the message is very clear. I do not have 2/3 of parliament to throw away my DP if I wanted to impeach him. And now I have more than the 2/3. One night, if they woke up and decided they don't want him, I know it's very easy to tame Rigathi, because the president will call him and tell him, this is what I want you to deliver, and if you can't deliver this, impeachment. So Rigathi, whether they impeach him physically or not, stands impeached because he'll be working. I'm installed. You want to do this, and then a motion. Someone threatens to throw a motion in parliament, and he tries to count the men on his side, and he's outnumbered and outwitted. And all the time now, Rigathi has been tamed for life. If he remains DP, he'll be a lame duck DP. If he is impeached, he'll be impeached in the morning. If I was him, I would even resign, because you'll sit there and every morning when you decide, I want to go to Mathura, you're told, no, you are going to Kakamega. Then he said, I want to go to Mathura, you're told, you'll be impeached. Then he said, okay, I'm going to Kakamega, because he knows the numbers do not work for him. But the big question is, do you feel it's time for the deputy president to be shown the door? Leave your thoughts in the comment section. This is the Kenyan Uncensored. Goodbye.